Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, I hear a little bit of echo there. Let's see. Oh, I'm connected to the wrong thing on these questions things.
You're good. It was me.
No, I meant on the chat applications here. Resonite app and Resonite app.
This off by thanking Ramp for giving me a heads up for the outdated Discord template. Just last second got ourselves situated on the proper channel, and I forgot to update the text.
Gonna go change the music.
Just pass that you drop it into the Twitch chat, and if you could include in there somewhere a question mark, it helps mark us. That question aside for us in the little tracker we have. Of course, if you'd like to ask us anything outside of those areas that we're pseudo specialized in, you're more than welcome to do so. It's just we might not be able to provide the best answer. We'll give you the best we can. We'll point you in the direction of someone who might be able to give you a better one at the same time. The audio was just from Veer's position. Can anyone actually hear me?
Whoops, my bad.
Folks can now hear me, possibly because Veer's back, possibly because the settings changed, hopefully both. Welcome back, Veer.
Thank you, sorry about that.
No worries.
Can someone do me a favor and ask just any old question with a question mark? I just want to make sure that our question capturing panel's working. There we go. It's working. Cool, thank you. Are you a dog? I am indeed a dog.
Something gives it away every time.
Bark. Quite a bit better. Still a bit of a sore throat for some reason, but it's not affecting my voice as much this time. Thank goodness.
Looks like we've got a good number of folks in chat. But one more time, just in case anyone missed me beforehand, I'm Canadian Git, this is Veer. We're going to be here for the next 30 minutes fielding questions for the moderation team. You can ask us any old thing you'd like about Resonite. The areas we know most about would be moderation, the guidelines, and the mentor program. If this seems redundant, it's because I said it before, but you know, we might have got a couple more people since, or it might have been a little bit low earlier. If you'd like to ask us a question, I'd recommend just dropping it in the Twitch chat, where we'll be keeping track of everything with a question mark and trying to read over it more broadly if we happen to miss a question mark. Of course, if you'd like to ask us anything outside of our area of expertise, you're more than welcome, though we might occasionally point you in the direction of a better resource. That preamble out of the way, welcome everyone. I hope you've been having a good week, a fantastic weekend. It's been an absolute scorcher around here recently, and a couple of giant storms.
Does it really not do anything? Darn, I thought I had it set up so if I muted my mic in here, it wouldn't come through the stream. My bad.
Veer, what secret messages did you send to chat?
Oh, I didn't. I was just trying to avoid coughing into their ears.
Oh. Well,
I'm just going to cough into ears.
You helped one single person. This is good. This is good. Appreciation.
So apologies, I'm just gonna cough.
Don't mind me when I just stare aimlessly off in the distance. I've not just daydreaming. That's where our question board actually is. That said, it looks like it's a pretty quiet day to start for questions.
Aw, you've been ill too, Lydia. That sucks. I'm sorry. If I'm still slightly sick by tomorrow, that's 2 weeks for me. Can't wait for it to go away.
Jack the Fox Otter asks, did you enjoy Rush's video? And very much so. They are an enthusiastic, but a smaller creator over on YouTube. And if anyone hasn't put eyes on Rush's video, we probably should give it a good shout out right now. I'd encourage you to head up to the, I think we have it dropped in the announcements channel. Let me double check. We do. We have the video, Rush's video dropped in the announcements channel if you'd like to put an eyeball on it from the Bloody Rush. I'm going to drop it into Twitch chat too, just in case anyone would like to click over and put eyeballs on a small creator who did a little Resonite video. Absolutely wonderful work. Very happy to see them produce that.
Indeed. I gotta watch it myself. I have actually not seen it yet.
Oh, yes. Do recommend everyone do so. Of course, it is nice to see larger creators put eyeballs on Resonite, but it's always... Smaller creators on YouTube have a sort of unique charm to them. I absolutely recommend digging through them and seeing what folks are up and coming in that space.
Indeed. By the way, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we have kind of a recurring theme so far with these streams. We've been choosing different worlds to kind of stream in. And this time around, we're actually in Team Vibe's Recursion Lab. We're kind of off in the corner, but it's a lovely, cozy world. You guys should check it out. It's got a really cool camera system that you can kind of like animate cool little things up on the ceiling and whatnot with. A lot of fun to play around with.
I certainly think it's a very relaxing world. Very nice. A lot of Teams Vibes' work follows that highly polished, very relaxing atmosphere, and they do a great job of it. I have to admit, while the general aim is for a relaxing world each time, there's a great deal of variety between them too. Worth checking out all their stuff.
Definitely. And I look relaxed. Yeah, I guess. I'm kind of chilling here in a, black jeans and a t-shirt. Meanwhile, right next to Git, I think not too many people would, look, how can I put it? Comparatively, I bet I look relaxed. Git looks very formal.
I am thriving. Hopefully not moisturized. Moist skeletons just doesn't sound good.
No, not very appetizing.
Good God, an actual question.
Oh, cool.
Master asks, question, how do you currently feel about education, materials, and resources for mentors, as well as mentors teaching other users how to use Resonite? Your current insight is appreciated. Would you like to take a stab on the current half for the resources available for mentors?
So if you're talking about like our official resources, I'm kind of hoping that we'll eventually bolster that a little bit further. However, I think like in general, the official and unofficial resources that we have to teach users how to use this platform is quite amazing. If you go in like the worlds browser, you can find so many different worlds to teach you different things like protoflux and basic usage of the tool systems and all that. I think there's like a ton of tools at people's disposal, and I think it's great. I can't wait to see even more of it.
Mm-hmm. And when it comes to the back half of the question, how do we feel about mentors teaching other users how to use Resonite? I think it's absolutely wonderful and essential going forward. Not only does it, is it a really effective way to get the often large amount of information a new person needs to learn in Resonite more effectively conveyed than I think any preset tutorial could do, though I do quite like the efforts of our tutorial so far. Mentors just make that better due to the sheer breadth of things you can do here. We're never going to create a tutorial that'll get into the fine nitty-gritty details of logics, protoflux, but building complex protoflux things you often can do by being simply working with other people who built similar or complex projects previously. Mentors are excellent in that regard, and I think the other half of it that really drives it home for me is it it creates a better sense of community. When people come in and they learn from other users, they show off the things that they've built previously, they encourage them to build new things too. It really helps foster that sense of community in a way that a more solo experience, even if it was very good, would not convey. Oh, we actually got Thom Fox gifted a tier 1 sub to the community. Thank you very much, Thom Fox.
Thank you,
I honestly
Tom.
didn't anticipate we'd get many gifted subs. This is usually just an information PSA. Still, welcome to the mod office hours, Thom Fox, and thank you very much for the gifted sub. That's very kind of you.
Showing that it is possible. Indeed.
Good demonstration.
Oh, and also, as you guys might have noticed, we finally got it on the Twitch stream, like the regular Resonite app Twitch stream. I'm so happy about that.
Now situated properly in our official channel. Hopefully everything will be on here going forward, though occasionally, of course, tech hurdles might come up. We're still learning. This is what, week 3? There's still space to learn.
Jack has a question. I have a question regarding the Mentor bot that has been enabled on the Mentor Discord a couple of days ago. I was working on a system similar to this a while ago, and we did talk about it, but I'm a bit surprised in how it ended up being implemented, since I remember that messages sent to a Discord channel was explicitly not desired, at least from my talks with Maddie. This was a while ago. What's the general thoughts and design consideration behind it? So, as far as I'm aware, this right now is kind of a project slash, like, experiment from EXO, and it's kind of just in the very basic beginnings of like what he's creating. I'm sure we're going to see more from him about it. I'm not sure if he's in the chat right now at all to answer your question, but yeah, no, it's just kind of like a new thing that's just popped up, and we're kind of seeing how it goes. Though I will say I noticed it did ping at here at one point. That's definitely not desirable, so we're going to make sure that that's not going to continuously ping people that, you know, would rather not receive those pings. But yeah, no, I'm going to have to talk more about that with the mentor leads and kind of see what's going on there with it.
Tempted to dig into the PSA bin. Give a bit of a quiet Sunday. Not that that's a bad thing. Relaxing Sundays are good Sundays. Oh, here's another one. A master asks, following that question, do you think that there can/will be an official mentor calling system endorsed by Resonite? Official. I mean, anything's possible down the line. I'm not going to close the door on anything. It's certainly, yes, possible. I don't believe there's plans right now. So far, the mentor program have been tinkering with their own individual systems on occasion, as that new one that was just covered in the last question went over. And of course, there were previous systems that looked at a similar sort of functionality way on back. Tinkering always happens. That we have to expect in the mentors. It's a crowd of some of the most intelligent and creative people inside of Resonite, and of course, they're going to tinker, make clever systems from time to time. But I think more broadly, yes, the heart of the question, there aren't plans for an official one built into Resonite at this point in time, but we'll have to see what the future brings.
Yeah.
Lydia White follows up the question, couldn't that be abused and spammed? I assume you mean an official mentor calling system, and possibly, though I think the potential for spam has been at least on the minds of everyone who even began tinkering with a system like this. It would certainly be on the minds if we decided to implement an official one, but yeah, there are hurdles to make a system like that good, definitely. You are correct. It's more complex than simply putting a big button in every new world that a user can hit to see if I may make a mentor appear. That there's a little bit more to it than that.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be kind of fun to have like a system that just like a new user can just press grab a mentor and it literally just does that, just out of the blue, whatever mentor is online, just whisked
just
away.
Teleports them.
Yeah.
Without any warning or message.
They were mid conversation, just like, and now they're suddenly in front of a new user who needs help. That would be
might be
so efficient.
it would move people very quickly. It would be an
Very.
effective people mover. That is true. There might be the odd complaint, but if those people complain, we can just teleport them with the people mover we have somewhere too far away for us to hear their complaints.
Yeah. UIX spams buttons. Spawn 50 mentors. Absolutely.
What we primarily, chiefly need to achieve that would be spawnable mentors. If I could just make a new mentor by hitting a button, not teleporting a mentor, problem solved.
Oh man.
Population boom might be intriguing following even a week of that running, but you know, it's that'd be cool too in its own way.
Resonite mentor GPT.
Jack the Fox Otter follows up with a comment saying, all right, because one of the concerns with the old Discord bot was that it kind of encouraged people to lurk on Discord and only jump into the game when they see a message, / mentors that aren't currently logged in still feeling pressured to help when they see a message on Discord. And I think those are reasonable concerns. You, in fact, follow up by saying those are valid concerns as well. Yeah, I imagine a lot of the feedback that might have happened for a system that was around a year or two ago are worth echoing now. For starters, we have a whole bunch of new mentors that just weren't around when that system existed. So even if you're like, well, this concern's already been brought up a couple of years before, feel free to bring it up again. There are new ears that need to hear them. As with every mentor project, anticipate everyone involved is very happy to get a lot of feedback and suggestions to make it better. So yeah, dive into those sorts of conversations and help out.
Indeed. A master says it would be cool to have mentors basically tagged with what they are good at, matching with a user that needs the that type of help. That's something we're planning on doing too, actually. Just like basically having our mentors self-assign themselves like different roles that they are good at. Let's say protoflux or building avatar setup, gesture systems, etc. I'm not sure how broad the tagging system we're going to go with is going to be, but like definitely something we want to have in the future too.
Grandpa says it might be fun to train an LLM on the wiki and have it run as a Discord bot. Others, I mean, it's an interesting idea. I think of all the generative AIs, the language models are the least concerning, but they still do have concerns. I wouldn't want the user to receive an AI response that was junk or incorrect and go off on that information and then be confused when it just simply didn't work. And I certainly wouldn't want it to spit out incorrect information if they were asking things about guidelines, what's allowed, what's not allowed, or how to content mods. You know, those sorts of things do raise a real tangible concern to me that I'd like to see solved before we would lean on that sort of technology. But yeah, no, it is worth keeping an eye on it, see where things go in the future.
Indeed. Lydia asks, is Resonite going to do more events, like showcasing what the community has made, like racing and new game worlds? I think we'd like to in general. I'm not sure, like, do you know of any, like, big things besides, like, Battle Nights that are coming up that we're going to be doing some showcases?
Ones that we're specifically pushing? No,
Yeah.
I think Battle Nights is the main initiative that we have coming down the line. Of course, there's always MMCs rolling down, and we have, I've forgotten the name of the festival the Japanese community is going to likely be hosting soon.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the big three that are always on my radar, but yeah, we do also want to big announcements in that regard. You can always keep an eye on our streams to try and get an eye on news, specifically the news section of, say, the recap, where we'll be promoting things that we officially endorse there as well. Of course, the Discord is great as a resource if you just want to dig through the announcements channel or the meetups channel to see other community events happening more broadly within the community that we're not specifically endorsing, but want people to go to. We're a good space inside of our Discord for.
Yeah. Also, so I can clarify for Jack, when I say like planned, I don't mean like planned as in written down, like step by step, here's how we're going to do it. It's just I had previously wanted a system that would do something like that. That's what I mean by planned, as in it's in here, like probably because you and I talked about it. And I liked the idea. My bad if it, sounded like otherwise. Let's see.
Lydia White follows up saying, Follow up on the AI answer. I feel AI would ruin it for some people if they expect a human response and they get some AI jumbo. They might feel that the community doesn't want to help, certainly. I think that's another one of the strong concerns, especially as it gets better at sort of mimicking a person to the point that it might not be entirely clear. That you're not speaking to a person. I think that can be deceptive in a way that might be lead to a very poor user experience for people just trying to reach out to get some help. I'd much prefer someone go to Discord, even if it's got all of the foibles of Discord's usual discourse when it comes to trying to get an answer to any particular question as it relates to the guidelines, then give them a bot that they might otherwise receive a wrong answer from, or even a correct answer that they strongly dislike. All this to say, though, there are just concerns left for even language model bots that I'd want to see resolved, and a degree of transparency I'd want to include in any use we'd ever see of them before they could be implemented, even for that relatively limited use on our end, to give people insights to guidelines and information from the wiki. Instead, we'd like to try and keep a very active community that helps point people in the right direction whenever they have questions, have vibrant community-driven discussion places on our Discords, and, of course, volunteer teams like the mentors to help folks out when they're looking for that sort of information. And I mean, I suppose it goes without saying, but office hours. So you can come yell at the devs if you want direct answers to your questions.
Let's see. Jack follows up saying, as I said, I do want to make it still. Just trying to kind of push it forward until we get collections / JSON parsing, because I don't want to implement it in a janky way. No, that's understandable. I can't wait till we have collections. I don't really know what that means, but like I can't wait till we have it because a lot of people really want it.
I'm in the exact same category. I do not have a strong enough understanding of building things to tell you exactly the many advantages that collections will give you, but I know enough people who build things that are fancy enough that I've gone, if only collections. But I really want to see what they can put together when it comes down the line. A master chimes in with arrays are important, which is basically collections, which tells me that they are close to collections, but that there's this distinguishing feature that makes them not collections, and this just makes it more confusing in my brain. But I hope you get collections and possibly arrays in the future.
Yeah. I hope that you can put the collections within the arrays or the other way around, and that does something cool.
On Fox highlights, there are collections already. They're just not looking like them. I'm going to clarify something at this stage. Me and Veer, we write policy. We field tickets. We engage with the community. We try and keep Resonite as a platform a safe and welcoming space online, and continue to ensure that that's going to be the pace going in the future. We also sometimes engage in like the business team and other legal aspects of the company. We aren't engineers. We're very involved devs and have been here from the very beginning. But if you're looking for more technical conversations, my strongest recommendation is to head over to Probable Prime's office hours. He is one of our coders. Fantastic part of the team, been around just as long as us, and far more knowledgeable about the technical details than we will likely ever be.
Certainly. Oh, as Tatsu puts it, we're the pointy end of the stick.
I guess.
Or the, or the head of the hammer.
We have mods that are the pointy end of the stick. We point and say, jab that with a stick.
True.
And people jab that other stick. I guess we're also sometimes holding the stick, but we have a lot of very helpful volunteer mods that certainly make the process far more smooth and contribute a great deal to the team. We'd be lost without them.
Yeah. A master says, collections is just a list of some things inside a container of those some things. So is it like a box of cookies within a box of cookies? Cool. That means more cookies. Or more shrinkflation, more packaging, less
So-
cookies.
But I do appreciate trying to teach us, but the definition you've given us for collections meets what would have been like my guess at a linguistic use of the word collections outside of a coding context, and has told me nothing about how it's applied in
Yeah,
building
same.
things.
That's
I have
funny.
gained no additional knowledge. I do appreciate it though, but there are probably several classes I'd need to take in order for you to give me an answer that would be helpful. I'm missing a foundation of knowledge.
There is an argument against how collections is not quite a box of cookies, but is still a box of cookies with a box of cookies inside of it.
It's a possible box of maybe cookies.
Yeah. So like regular Oreos, right? Like a box of Oreos is, let's say, like that is an array, right? And so then a multi-pack box of Oreos with different flavors of Oreos in different boxes within that box, that is a collection.
Chase is here to clarify. A box of cookie quotations that contains a box of Thin Mints quotations and a box of chocolate chips more quotations and a box of sugar cookies quotations. I don't actually know in retrospect whether that was clarification at all, but I appreciate the assistance, truly.
If that is clarification, then I am satisfied. I just still don't know how it would work. Like, is this all stuff we do with Protoflux, or is it stuff we do with components? All of the above?
Jack the Fox Adder clarifies that collections are, in fact, the friends we made along the way. And I mean, if you collect friends, that seems at least broadly accurate. What is a contacts list but a collection of friends?
Oh, man. Basically think set theory, but yes, I don't know what set theory is. Oh, okay. I gotta tell you, all this conversation's doing is making me want some cookies.
I assume it lets you assign a whole bunch of things inside of your working space that are part of a given collection, and then instead of doing a thing to one of those things, you do a thing to the collection, so it applies to all of the things. I don't know if that's true, and we have negative 30 seconds left in this office hours to try and understand it, so I'm just going to be like, yeah, sure, maybe that's it.
Wait, the office hours is over? Oh my god, it's
been one of
4:30.
those days.
I thought we just set up.
I don't think we clarified anyone on anything relating to moderation today, but I'd like to thank you all for coming by and teaching us about cookies and collections and hanging out. One could even say, dare I say, vibing in this Team Vibes world. It has been enjoyable, if a little confusing.
I think we mostly just talked about cookies.
There's like a whole list of questions here, and there's some mentor questions. We did
Okay.
some useful work today. Things were chatted about. I hope further systems are developed for the mentor program. People who've developed. I hope Jack gets back into building their system when we eventually give them the tools to do so in collections. I hope there's a day in the future when I can say that sentence and know what collections means.
Office hours are not nearly long enough. I don't know. I personally, I would be okay with entertaining the idea of having extended office hours, at least going up to an hour. But I don't know.
Yes.
That's not just me making that decision, and we'd have to discuss it.
We've always been running under the idea if we ever couldn't fit all the questions inside of 30 minutes, we'd just extend the office hour to an actual office hour instead of 30 minutes. It's just generally speaking, we haven't been so bombarded with questions as to need to do that on a consistent basis. Every now and then a sneaky week comes along and a really contentious question comes up and everyone has follow-up questions and opinions, but it's a relative rarity. Usually we get a fairly chill office hours.
Indeed.
Welcome
I
to
did
Spooky
see
Day, perhaps. Oh, go ahead.
I did see a question from a master. May I have the honor of teaching you some computer science topics later for the both of you? Possibly. It depends on my mindset at the moment. Sometimes it's really hard for me to learn this stuff if I'm like not in the great mindset.
You can.
Go on.
I'm always willing to learn things. Which is to say, sober yet unoccupied is always willing to learn things. Good luck with those two qualifiers, but you know, maybe.
Be kind of cool. We should definitely hang out later, though.
Yes.
For sure. Did we miss anything? Will you ever hold the office hours in an actual office world? Sure. In fact, I think Cal made a Veer's office world at one point. I don't remember what's all in it. I gotta go look at it.
I like to think of my world as an office. I've hosted a number of very formal meetings in my world. Almost no one else appears to think of it as an office, but we could go there.
We
I'm willing
could
to make the argument.
We should do that next stream, actually, because the machine is a really cool world.
That can be done. Done. That's it. We should give at least a couple of the regular spiels before we shut down. If,
certainly,
for instance, we didn't answer any of your moderation questions this week, and one comes up in the coming week, feel free to head over to the moderation ticket system, where we have as one of the drop-down menus when you submit a ticket. While the help topics can be general inquiry, you're more than welcome to field just general questions for moderation there, and we'll give you a response in text, hopefully, as soon as we can. If you'd like to hold on to your questions, of course, if you're new to the office hours, you might not know, we host these every single week, every single Sunday at the same time, same location. The same location caveats a little bit difficult given we recently just moved to Twitch, but rest assured, if you have eyeballs on our Twitch going forward and eyeballs inside of our Discord, you're likely to be able to find a moderation office hours in some form, someplace, 4 p.m. EST. Oop.
I keep getting
1
booped.
p.m. PST, and otherwise around the world.
All right, folks. Well, thank you very much for attending this office hours. I keep getting booped. That's funny. And we'll catch you guys next time around. Same time, same place, different world probably. And you guys have a wonderful.
Say same time, same place. If we're always in a different world.
Same place, same time, different place.
Same time, different place.
Heck yeah! And I'm gonna try to figure out how I can raid the what is it called?
I hope you all have a fantastic week.
A raid creator jam.
Follows.
Bye, guys.
Bye.